ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Do you like games? I like games. Do you like games too? I like games too. I like games too.
All right, I think everything's up and running now. Welcome to the Retro Free Game live stream for Christian Geek Central. I'm just gonna basically play some retro games and talk about them, talk about why I like them or why I don't like them or whatever. And yeah, so it's gonna be the NES, Super NES. Do we have any PlayStation 1? We might not. We might just jump ahead to PlayStation 2 at some point. But first, I guess I should say, oh hey, Rugged Warrior. Welcome, welcome. So first I should say, okay, what is retro? What am I considering retro for this? And the way I kind of figured was to do like the generation before last is retro. So Xbox 360, PS3, that's not old enough to be retro. And as strange as it was initially for me to kind of come to this conclusion, PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, those I think can be qualified as retro games at this point because they are from the console generation before last. So we're looking at PS2, the original Xbox, GameCube, and earlier on consoles. And then based on kind of like when those consoles released, I figured, okay, 2006 and earlier on the PC. So that's how I'm figuring. That's what I'm calling retro games, and most of what I'm going to be playing during this stream is going to be retro. But part of the summer of free is about taking advantage of free entertainment, and for a lot of us, free entertainment that we have available is entertainment we already have that maybe we haven't looked at or played in a while, and so I'm just going to be dusting off some free entertainment that I've had. Oh, and the other rule that I gave for myself was that I also cannot have purchased it within the last 12 months. So in the spirit of the summer of free, I'm not going to be playing any retro-aged games that I purchased in the last 12 months. I guess the exception to that would be the fact that I'm going to be using the Retron 5, which is a retro video gaming console, for most of the night, and I'll be reviewing that in just a little bit. But I thought I'd kick things off with some Wizards and Warriors. We got the NES. I'm going to take one of these ears off so I don't over-talk, so I don't talk too loud. We got the NES in, I want to say, like 1988 or 1989. So of course, the first game that we were playing was Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and I love these games. I played some NES at some friends' houses, but mostly we played Atari. And I suppose if I really wanted to go retro and represent my beginnings as a video gamer, I would have hooked up the Atari, but even though I can technically get that to be HDMI and therefore streaming compatible through a wonky set of connections, it didn't quite seem worth it for this, because the last time when I did the Extra Life stream, I mean, if I blinked wrong, then that Atari wouldn't work. So it was, sometimes it'll have a great session. I'll set it up and it'll go great for, a few hours, but other days it just doesn't want to work. And there's nothing I can do about that. So I didn't feel like going to all that trouble just to have something that would maybe work and that I would only really want to play one game on, and that would, of course, be Stargate. And I've since kind of replaced Stargate anyway with Resogun on the PS4. I was jealous for a while, going over to friends' houses and watching them play on their Nintendos, and we just had the Atari. So I was really excited to get the Nintendo. It was a gift from... Technically, I think it was a gift from my grandmother, or my grandparents, but really I think they just sent my parents a check and said, why don't you get them something? So it came with Super Mario Brothers, and that was the only game that we had to start with, was Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And I don't think it was too long after that that the used game market was kind of the Franzen place to go because of the Franzen cheap gene. Coming full circle now, that brings us to Wizards and Warriors. One of the first games that we got after just the one that it came with, You know, my dad, you know, I think we went to some mall where they were like, you know, selling used games or whatever, and you know, you can get them for cheaper. And he got like Tiger Heli, and I think he picked up Dragon Warrior. Oh, I probably really wanted that. So hard to get at these routes. You can't really control how you fall. Ah, dang. Okay. I still got my boots of force. Oh well. Oh crap! How do I get up there? Oh, I did it. Okay, good. Oh, there's the boss. Oh, dang. And this game was one of the first that we got. And so Tiger Heli, Iron Tank, I think was maybe another one, which many of these I repurchased because we eventually sold them. Because I wanted to use the money to get a Super Nintendo. Oh, jeez. Oh, crap. Yay! But I suck at video games. I suck at video games. I love them so much, and yet I suck so badly at them. Especially games that require any kind of hand-eye coordination, which was the vast majority of games when the Nintendo was released. You know, they were all kind of these twitchy type of, you know, reflex games. And I sucked at those. My sisters could beat Super Mario Brothers, and I could not. And the reason I like video games, I've kind of discovered as I think about it and analyze myself, is I love just exploring these alternate realities, and I love the feeling of adventure, but without real risk to yourself. It's the same reason I think that we love any kind of fiction. This was the first game that I could beat, because it's so forgiving. Now, if you've been watching for a little while here, you might notice that really when I die, it's really forgiving. I think I get resurrected right where I left off. I have all the gems that I need, and you collect these gems. Once you collect enough gems, then certain doors will unlock to new areas. So I keep all my... I don't even lose my gems. The only thing that gets reset is my score, and that's only when I run out of lives altogether. Oh, crap. I really didn't want that. I should have kept my boots of force, dang it. Oh well. I used to remember where everything was in this game. And being invisible, that stupid cloak, it's so dumb. Look at that, ran out of lives, still have my cloak, still have the key I found, still have the rubies. So this was a cool, like, fantasy-themed, medieval fantasy game that I could play and explore and, you know, with some patience, get my way through. I was so excited that it was a game that I could be good at. And I'm not good at this game, as you can tell. I'm terrible at this game, as I am at all games. But I could at least finish it. I could explore more of the world. I hate in Mario dying and going back to the same freaking spot. I want to explore these worlds, that's why I play games. Platformers, by far, because of Mario, were like, that was the thing. That's what you did. And so even in a game like this medieval fantasy game, with a guy wearing full iron body armor, he is bouncing around. That's like one of his main modes of transportation, is jumping twice his height in iron body armor. So now let's move on to maybe a game that you've actually heard of.
For thine is the Christian, and the geek, and the Central.com.